Namaste. Tonight I'm going to read Book 9, Chapter 10, on the offences caused to the earth and punishments thereof, in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratu Namakaya Koti Surya. Hariyam Tat Sat. Narada said, I am now desirous to hear about the merits acquired by making gifts of land, the demerits in stealing away lands, digging wells in others' wells, in digging earth on the day of Ambuvachi, in casting semen on earth, and in placing lamps and lights on the surface of the earth, as well the sins when one acts wrongly in various other ways on the surface of the earth, and the remedies thereof. Sri Narayana said, if one makes a gift of land in this Bharata of the measure of a vitasti, a long span measured by the extended thumb and little finger, to a Brahmana who performs Sandhya 3 times a day, and is thus purified, one goes and remains in Shivaloka, the abode of Shiva. If one gives away in charity a land full of corn to a Brahmin, the giver goes and lives in Vishnuluka, in the end, for a period measured by the number of dust particles in the land. If one presents a village, a plot of land, or grains to a Brahmin, both the giver and the receiver become freed of their sins and go to the Devi Loka, the abode of the Devi. Even if one be present when a proposal for a gift of land is being made and says, this act is good, one goes to Vaikuntha with one's friends and relatives. He remains in the Kala Sutra hell as long as the sun and moon exist, who takes back or steals away the gift to a Brahmin, offered by himself or by any other body. Even his sons, grandsons, etc. become destitute of lands, prosperity, sons, and wealth, and remain in a dreadful hell named Raurava. If one cultivates the grazing land for the cows and reaps therefrom a harvest of grains, one remains from 100 divine years in the Kumbhipaka hell. If one cultivates any enclosures for cows or tanks and grows grains on them, one remains in the Asipatra hell for a period equivalent to 14 Indras' falls. One who bathes in another's tank without taking off 5 handfuls of earth from it goes to hell, and one's bath is quite ineffectual. If anybody out of his amorous passion casts his semen privately on the surface of the ground, he will have to suffer the torments of hell for as many years as are the numbers of dust particles on that area. If anyone digs ground on the day of Ambuvachi, one remains in hell for 4 yogas. If without the permission of the owner of a well or tank, a stupid man clears the old well or tank and digs the slushy earth from the bottom, his labor goes in vain. The merit goes to the real owner. And the man who labored so much goes to Tapta Kunda Naraka for 14 Indra's life periods. If anyone takes out 5 handfuls of earth from another's tank, when he goes to bathe in it, he dwells in Brahmaloka for a period of years amounting to the number of particles in those handfuls of earth. During one's father's or grandfather's Shraddha ceremony, if one offers Pinda without offering any food, Pinda, to the owner of the soil, the Shraddha performer goes certainly to hell. If one places a light, Pradipa, directly on the earth without any holding piece, at the bottom, one becomes blind for 7 births. And so if one places a conch shell on the ground, Shankar, one becomes attacked with leprosy in one's next birth. If anybody places pearls, gems, diamonds, gold, and jewels, the 5 precious things, on the ground, he becomes blind. If one places the phallic emblem of Shiva, the image of Shivani, the Saligrama stone, on the ground, he remains for 100 manvantaras to be eaten by worms, conch shells, yantras, diagrams of Shakti worshippers, the water after washing, shelas, stones, i.e. Charanamitra, Charamrita, flowers, tulsi leaves, if placed on the ground, lead him who places these verily to hells. The beds, garlands of flowers, Gorochana, a bright yellow pigment prepared from the urine or bile of a cow, and camphor, when placed on the ground, lead him who places so to suffer the torments of hell. The sandalwood, Rudraksha mala, and the roots of Kushagrasa also is placed on the ground. Kusagrasa also, if placed on the ground, lead the doer to stay for 1 manvantara in the hell. Books, the sacred Upanayana threads, when placed on the ground, make the doers unfit for Brahmin birth. Rather, he is involved in a sin equivalent to the murder of a Brahmin. The sacred Upanayana thread, when knotted and rendered fit for holding, is worth being worshipped by all the castes. One ought to sprinkle the earth with curd, milk, etc. after one has completed one's sacrifices. If one fails to do this, one will have to remain for 7 births in a hot ground with great torment. If one digs the earth when there is an earthquake or when there is an eclipse, that sinner becomes also devoid of some of his limbs in his next birth. O Muni, this earth is named Bhumi, since she is the abode of all. She is named Kashyapi, since she is the daughter of Kashyapa. It is named Visvambhara, since she supports the universe. She is named Ananta, since she is endlessly wide, and she is named Prithvi, since she is the daughter of the king Prithu, or she is extensively wide. Here ends the 10th chapter of the 9th book on the offenses caused towards the surface of the earth and punishment thereof in hells. In the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali. Om to Mata Chapitatu.